Good afternoon, anti-novelists. It is a beautiful day here. Autumn on the cattle ranch. The trees are turning. I'm hanging out at the stand-up desk, which I'm sitting because I have a paperweight on my lap. Say hello, kitty. So, yesterday was pretty chaotic in that I lost the quest system, which I've added an R. I think I'm going to call it Quester because I'm adding a resolution component. So that's a little sneak peek. But here's the thing. I have a legitimate question for all of you guys. You have been so helpful and so forthcoming and had such great suggestions and great questions. I want to take a poll. That is today's video. I'm taking a poll of anyone who sees this. Tell me, when you're reading some kind of manual or how-to or instructions, like obviously this book, Zettelkasten for fiction writers, is a little bit workbook, a little bit instructions, a little bit theory of writing, okay? So it has all of those components. It begins with setting up your Zettelkasten, then it moves on to building your characters box, then it moves on to the foundations of fiction, both short and long form. So my question for you is it helpful when you're turning to a new chapter or a new section to have some kind of signpost up top? Here's specifically where I'm at. I am currently working on chapter 9. This is my notebook where I just keep notes to myself about things I want to potentially consider changing or things I want to be sure that I include. And I came across this question to myself, and that is a question of vocabulary. So what is most helpful to you? Let's say, for example, during this chapter, which if you look at 900, under the writing process, we're looking at the quest system. Would it be helpful to have a little piece at the front of the chapter that says, here are some terms and things that we're going to explore? Number 1, what does it mean to be a quester writer? Number 2, what is a story box and what does that look like? Number 3, a quick rehash of the plot box, which I go over in an earlier chapter. Words and terms such as drafting or continuity edit, things that a newer writer might not know what they mean. That way you have a little something up front that tells you what those terms are, so that when you encounter them later in the narrative of the chapter, you're not thrown out of your reading groove because you're looking at something like, let's say, the story box, and you're like, wait, story box, what's that? Or drafting or continuity edit. You're like, wait, what's that? So that is my question to you, my gentle viewers. What would be the most helpful to you? Do you want some kind of preface or little intro section that says, here are some of the key points that we're going to cover, and here's a little vocab for what to expect? Or would you rather just dive in headfirst to the chapters and get right to the meat of it and keep cruising on down the road? So that is my question for you. Independent of that, this newly drafted chapter is sitting at 890 words. I have probably at least another 1,200 words to add because I'm only on the Q of Quester. So I've got 5 more letters in the acronym of the system to go. So I'm going to continue working on those. I've got time for about 4 more sprints. So that's 4 30-minute work blocks. I'm going to get after that. And I'm also making the decision to add a works consulted at the end of the chapter. I am not a huge fan of crazy amounts of footnotes. I know in some forms that can work, and I dig it, and I can just drop down, read the footnote, and keep on rolling. But for this purpose, I don't want to throw you out of the narrative of the lesson because some of this stuff is a little dense. When I'm having you pull out cards and create cards, and we're going to create 7 of them, I don't want you diving out of the narrative to go and read a footnote and then have to come back. So instead, I'm toying with just using end notes at the end of major chapters or sections so that if you want to go and see where I did my homework, you can. Or if you just want to blast on through, I've done the homework, you can copy mine, that's okay too. So those are my two questions. Do you like a little preface up top that tells you what's coming? And do you like end notes or footnotes, or do you not even have a preference and you're just good to go? So I'm going to leave you there today because I need to get back to writing. I have a long way to go before I can wrap up for today. So as always, thank you so much to every single one of you who have hit the subscribe button. I look at you all every day and I am so grateful that you are with me on this journey. I really can't express my gratitude enough because I'm doing this for you. I'm not doing this for my health or for my vanity or for any other reason than people tell me on a daily basis that they need a system that they can count on to get their book written. That is my wish for you, and that is why I will press on to get this book into your hands, because I want you to get your writing done. There is nothing better than when you are in the flow, you're getting the words on the page, you know where you're headed, and it feels great. That's what I'm here for. That's what I want to help you do. So I will continue grooving on, and you let me know in the comments what you think about how I should proceed. Thank you all. I will see you tomorrow.